Now, for those who have read my book, the very first book on prayer, Incredible Answers to Prayer, I have the story in here of my experience in the intensive care unit of the Greater Niagara Hospital. Yeah.
Let's go back to your conversion a little bit. Now, you're French-Canadian by birth.
Oh, yes.
And during the World War II, you were in the Navy.
Yeah.
Now, just coming out of the Navy, some things happened where you got drawn into not passive, but outright demonic association, worship, and the spiritualistic movement. Tell us a little about that so folks know where you've come from.
Coming out of the Merchant Navy, I discovered there was thousands of enlisted men that were looking for jobs that were no longer in service, and to get jobs were in Montreal was kind of difficult. And I took a job to get me making a living at the Windsor Bowling Alleys and Billiards in West St. Catherine Street, which is the main street of Montreal. And I was the assistant to the manager of the billiard room. That's where all the wealthy people, you know, play billiard. And so it turned out to be that one evening, about 6 o'clock, this fellow come walking in there and said, "Hey, Morneau." I turned around and looked at him. He said, "You're alive." I said, "Of course I'm alive." "Yeah, I heard that you were torpedoed in the North Atlantic and that you died."
You've had this problem all your life, haven't you? People thinking you're dead.
People misunderstand me. Yeah, he said, "Man, you know, nice to see you," and, you know, shook my hand, and he said, "Why don't you have dinner with me tonight? I got a lot of nice, interesting things to tell you, man. Wow, my life is filled with well-being." I said, "What did you do, inherit a few $1 million? No, it's better than that. Better than that. Can you do that marriage this week?" So I asked my boss, could I take the evening off? And it was like on Wednesday evening, there wasn't too many people there. "Yeah," he said, "we can't take it off." So we're sitting, you know, eating our meal, and he says, "Man," he says, "let me tell you, I have become member of a society who communicate with the spirits of the dead. How would you like to talk to the spirit of your dead mother?" See, my mother died when I was 12 years old. I said, "I wouldn't be interested at all." "Hey, man," he says, "I talked to my dad." He says, "The things that he's doing is fabulous. The spirits of our departed loved ones are interested in our well-being here in this land, and they want to help you. They want to be with you. They want to help you." So he told me, "Well, you know, why don't you come to a seance with me next Saturday night?" And I said, "No, I'm not interested really, to be honest with you." And I tried to change the subject, but he wouldn't change the subject. He says, "No, look," he says, "you're chicken. I can't tell." He says, "I knew Morneau when he was afraid of nothing, you know. You painted the 70-foot main mast on a ship." He said, "Nobody else wanted to go out there." And he said, "Now," he said, "you're chicken. Or are you going to come with me Saturday night?" I said, "I'll go with you." And that's the way that it started for a few months. We had dealt with these seances, and many very interesting things happened. If you want to hear about it, I'll tell you, but I think I'm better go on.
Now, some of that is in one of your books. Is that in Trip into the Supernatural?
Trip into the Supernatural.
Right, okay.
That's the one.
That's it.
So.
That's called a plug. And you hold it in.
Well, you told me that the cameras would pick it up, right?
Yeah, you got to hold it fast. Hold it for a little while, and then we'll put it down. That's good. Okay.
Well, all I'm trying to do, I want to be recognized. People say that I'm dead.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
You see my bushes here. This guy's not dead, you know.
So a number of fascinating things happened at these seances, but finally you actually got to the place where at one point things were flying around the room, and you were having demons and spirits were speaking to the group and making promises. And
I'm going to tell you a very short little story here. We go to one of these seances one Saturday evening, and there was a guest exorcist, whatever you want to call him, medium, that was speaking there. And my friend says, "Hey, by the way, this big, great man, the band leader, famous band leader, is going to be there with his wife." I said, "Really?" "No, boy, I like to meet him." Now, this man belonged to a high Luciferian society of spirit worshippers. And what happened, that the spirit had, this spirit counselor, that is one of Satan's top angels, had told the high priest of the society, just about a year before, that the great master wanted to bring 2 individuals in to the society that would be a tremendous asset to the group in Montreal, and had given our names, but the priest had forgotten all about that. And what happened is that this George, this band leader, he was told by the angel, you go with your wife to this seance. You look like you're really enjoying yourself, but you're there for one purpose, to bring these guys into the society, and here's how you're going to do it. When your wife is engrossed with talking with the visiting medium, and you see that these fellows want to leave, you tell your wife that you're going home to rest, but she can come home with the Bellingers, which live right just a few houses away. And the angel told him, walk out at the same time with the 2 fellows and ask them if they're driving or taking the streetcar. So we walked out of there, and George says, hey, listen, you guys driving? No, so we're taking the streetcar 2 blocks away. Oh, jump in the car. He had a nice big Lincoln, brand new one. We jump in the car, he says, I'll drive you there. And on the way there, he says, hey man, why don't we go to a fancy restaurant on West St. Catherine Street, and we'll have some good food and a couple of drinks. And you tell me more about your Merchant Navy experiences. See? So, okay. After we're sitting there, he says, how long have you guys been involved in sorcery? I said, what? Yeah, he said, how long have you guys been involved in sorcery? He said, you know the spirits, the supposed spirits of the dead? They're not the spirits of the dead. They're demon spirits. And they're deceiving everybody. And they're of the lowest ranking of Satan's angel. And he goes on telling us a little bit more, and he invites us to one of their meetings for the following week, for the Wednesday evening, and the following evening. But, by the time we left there, he was so lit that I said to myself, this guy will never pick us up, to go to this meeting. But sure enough, Wednesday evening, he gave us a ring, my friend lived about 2 blocks away from where I lived. But he picked us up, brought over there, and introduced us to the members of the secret society. And I was very amazed because of the fact that they were all professionals, merchants, people, business people of great capacities, wealthy people, and there was a number of medical doctors and attorneys and people like that.
Now at this point, you realized this society, they were not just mediums doing seances. You knew that this was the underworld.
They had beautiful paintings, life-size, of angels that had appeared, Satan's angels, dressed in different garment of different ages, and they had materialized. First they had materialized in those forms, then they were photographed, and then they made the paintings of them. And when I visited the worship room of the gods, I was amazed to see there was over 100 of those beautiful paintings all around the worship room of the gods, and they were all Satan's top-notch spirit counselors.
So they had these life-size paintings of demons that had once appeared, and they made paintings out of them.
We were so amazed, my friend and I, we couldn't believe it. That, having been born and raised a Catholic, and you think of the devil, being in the middle of the earth and fire, covered with soot, with, they look terrible. And then you find out that, the great conflict that started in the courts of heaven.
And the demons are beautiful.
And the angels, Satan's angels, are beautiful beings, bright, beautiful beings. You see? The high priest told me that when he was in Chicago visiting there, that an angel appeared to him, and he says the brightness was so great that he couldn't look upon the being, but closed his eyes. And the spirit counselor, the angel, told him that the fellow that he had left in charge, the other priest in Montreal, was about to wreck everything that the spirits had done to bring my friend and I into the society, and that he ought to phone immediately and get this guy to change his mind. He had not, when George wanted to phone him and says that he would like to bring us, he said, no, wait. He said, if the high priest wants to have them here, he's going to have to be here himself. And that'll be in a few